Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts, opinions, and feels on What We Saw by Hartzler. This book does have a trigger warning for rape, so be aware of that before picking up this book and also before watching this review. What We Saw follows a rape case that takes place in a small town at a local high school. Everybody seems to be denying that it happens, but our main character Katie steps in and kind of begins to question everything. There are two lines from this book that describe this book perfectly. The first line being, "Nothing is exactly as it appears," and the second line being, "The closer you look, the more you see." That's all I'm going to tell you when it comes to the description of this book. I didn't go into this book knowing too much, and I think that's the right way to go about it. This is such an important and eye-opening book on rape culture, and I really want more people to read it because of how powerful it is. I thought the writing did a fantastic job of showcasing what a real high school looks like. It really tackles a lot of problematic behavior that can be seen in high schools, whether that problematic behavior is coming from the students or coming from the teachers. I think Aaron did a fantastic job of tackling this horrendous topic. He talks about it in a very delicate way, but he also talks about it in a very real way. He doesn't cover up how terrible the situation is. He just puts it all out there. The overall plot moved at a very nice pace. I feel like there could have been a few things that could be considered predictable, but I personally did not pick up on that at all. The story itself made me sick to my stomach at times, but I think that's a testament to how honest and true this story is. This is something that can happen, it's something that has happened, and it's important that we keep the discussion going. I really enjoyed all of the characters. There's characters that you love and there's characters that you hate. I feel like our main character Katie goes through an amazing transformation throughout this book, and that was really nice to see. So that's all I can say without spoiling this book. I am going to be hopping into a spoiler section, so if you have not read this book, you need to go read this book and then come back and discuss with me. I would highly recommend checking out this book. It's very powerful, it's very important, and you should definitely check it out. So without further ado, I'm going to be jumping into a spoiler section. If you have not read this book, later. If you have read this book, let's talk about What We Saw. I found it really interesting that we started this book with a flashback between Ben and Katie, and how Katie kind of scars Ben while they're playing soccer, and then by the end of this novel, Ben has scarred Katie with a scar that might not ever be healed. I liked how realistic Kate and Ben's friendship was and just the overall formation of their relationship. It did feel a little bit insta-lovey at times. I mean, they date for a week and Ben's like, "Oh baby, I love you, go to college with me, let's escape this town." But you have to factor in all their history together and the fact that they grew up together. I was really taken aback when Ben's mom was introduced as Adele. I was like, "Whoa, Adele, what you doing here?" And she's all like, "Hello, it's me." When Dooney's getting arrested and he's all, "My dad will have your badge," I just couldn't help but think about Draco Malfoy. The students' reactions to the whole ordeal was appalling. Just the things that they tweeted and the way that they reacted to the case was just straight up crazy. The thing is, most of them know these basketball players and they know how douchey they can be. And it was just surprising that they would let these boys manipulate them into thinking that they did no wrong. Or even just the fact that a lot of the students held in a lot of information that they knew just to keep a good reputation. Now that is sickening. We see such an honest portrayal of victim blaming within this book, how the rape victim is being selfish and how they're going to ruin the suspect's life, when people are so blind to the fact that the suspect has changed the victim's life forever the second they laid their hands on them. I think it would have been really interesting to see Stacy's perspective throughout this book. Maybe not like a huge chunk of her perspective, but just little bits here and there, and kind of seeing how she was reacting to all the social media posts and the news outlets that were reporting on the case. At first, I really liked Katie's parents, but then her dad really rubbed me the wrong way. He eventually does make it up towards the end of the novel, but the fact that he told Katie to stay out of this mess, and as far as anybody knows, you don't know where that Dune boy lives, Katie. I get him wanting to be protective, but lying would just complicate things. Sloane Keating. It's like a part of me really loves Sloane Keating and the fact that she's bringing awareness to this case, but another part of me is like, do you really have to be that rough in the way that you're going about this case and the way that you're approaching people, specifically Katie? I really didn't like the way that she went about reporting at times. This book was so detailed in the fact that there were different messages that kept being brought back to the rape case. Some of the song references linked back to the case that was happening, the teachers who were on the news who said they didn't give consent in order to be on the news, or how they had to fill out a consent form in order to go on a field trip. I was so surprised when Dooney showed up at the dance. I was not expecting him to show up at all. I was just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And of course, Douchey Sanders is there with his arm wrapped around him, standing right by his side, supporting him. It was so twisted how Dooney thought all the attention he was getting made him a star and made him a celebrity. Kate, I love you, you're great, but what makes you think entering Stacy's house without her knowing while she's in the shower is okay? That is not okay. I was completely on edge throughout that whole scene, just waiting for Stacy to find her and freak out. I can't even believe that Kate had the nerve to go into her house when Stacy didn't know she was in there. The video. I even wanted to puke when the video was described. And it was revealed all the people who had been there but had kept quiet. All these people kept quiet, and for what? For their reputation and for their friendships. Right after the basketball game, we have this really sweet moment between Kate and Ben, and for a second I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm really excited for the relationship. They're like gonna have their happy ending at the end of this novel. And then it's revealed that Ben was in the video, and I was just so upset. I like that Kate didn't really give him an ultimatum though. It wasn't, if you go to the police, I'll stay with you. It was, I'll break up with you if you do go, and I'll break up with you if you don't go. So those are all my thoughts, opinions, and feels on What We Saw by Aaron Hartzler. This is honestly one of the most powerful books I've ever read. It's about a girl who has the courage to speak up, to tell the truth, no matter the consequences, no matter the friends she loses, or the enemies she creates. She just tells the truth about what she saw. You guys should let me know down below if you have read What We Saw and what you thought about it. Also, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so click subscribe if you want to be notified for when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye. Achoo! Eating. A part of me really loves so